Rated E for everyone.
Billiard Club Television is brought to you by Diamond Vending and Promotions, setting the standard for competition pool. Limb Saver, the greatest innovation in Q-stick technology since the leather tip. World Championship Pool 2004, an authentic pool game for personal computers and next-generation consoles. AccuStats Video Productions. For your own personal video collection, go to accustats.com.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Chesapeake Conference Center for the 2003 U.S. Open 9-Ball Championships. I'm Jim Weich, along with Billy and Cardona. Day 2 here in Chesapeake, and already what a marquee matchup we've got for you here today. Billy, the Rifleman Buddy Hall versus the Earthquake Keith McCready.
Yes, they certainly are legendary players, and it's quite unfortunate for both of these players they have to meet so early in the tournament, you know. Keith McCready at one time, around 1982, was regarded as the best 9-ball player on the planet. Buddy Hall has sustained that reputation for a long, long time now. The Rifleman against the Earthquake, we're going to have a super match.
Well, I know the players are waiting in the wings, chomping at the bit to get out here on center stage, so without further ado, let's hand it over to your MC, Scott Smith.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 28th edition of the U.S. Open 9-Ball Championships. The format for the tournament is race to 11 games, double elimination. Rules of play are the Pro Express version of 9-ball. If there's a scratch in the break, it's a foul ball in hand anywhere on the table. No ball spot except for the 9. Any ball off the table is a foul ball in hand. One push out allowed immediately following a legal break. 3 consecutive fouls by the same player is loss of game. Jump cues are legal. You're tuned to the Billiard Club Network. At this time, let's get it on.
What a mouth-watering prospect this is. The Earthquake versus the Rifleman. And Billy, this isn't going to be an easy one to call, but I know one thing, we got the best seat in the house.
We certainly do, Jim. And by the way, you've heard the term contrasting styles. Well, this is certainly
the lag is Mr. Hall.
These two players.
Our official for this
totally
program
different.
is Steve Logan.
Buddy's a very methodical
Hall
player.
wins the lag.
The free spirit. McCready, well, you know, he's a little more aggressive. He'll do something that we might think he should not do, but most often it turns out right.
Yeah, he fires from the hip, doesn't he? And if that lag is any indication the way play is going to be here today, this is going to be a photo finish from start to finish.
These two players have faced one another a countless number of times. I really don't know the record, you know, on the times they met one another, but I would imagine it's fairly close, probably with Buddy having a little bit of the upper hand.
Well, I talked to a few players and pundits in the crowd here and just asking them who they thought on paper might be slight favorite, and they gave an edge just slightly to the man all set to kick things off.
Buddy up there in age right now. He's around my age, Jim, around 58 or 59 years old, but he's been able to sustain his excellent play throughout his entire career. I mean, what a great player Buddy Hall is. If you wanted to emulate a player or copy a player's style, it would be a player like Buddy Hall.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised you divulge that information so readily, Billy.
Well,
a break off, very controlled, just 19 miles an hour from Buddy Hall. He can hit him a lot harder. These players are going to weigh up how that table is breaking.
that's an excellent point, Jim. The characteristics of some tables on the break, that is that some tables give up balls more readily or easily when the balls are broken softly. Some tables you have to hit the ball much harder to get production off the break. We'll find out how this table's playing.
Well, Buddy's pushed out. Obviously nothing that he fancied looking at the table, and so it's down to McCready now to try and sort this dilemma out.
Very nicely executed shot, Jim. And if you notice, if I look at telescope working right here, how he repositioned the cue ball behind this wall of balls right here, and also at the same time repositioning the two ball at this end of the table. Excellent shot.
And now it's the Houdini act for Buddy Hall.
Doesn't look like anything easy. If he can get between that 9 and the pink 4 ball, and for those of you at home, that 4 ball for television is pink, so don't be confused. We'll allude to it a little more often. Yeah, and we will be giving you a close-up shot of a cue ball that I guarantee you won't have seen before.
He wasn't able to clear the 6 on his way to going 2 cushions behind the 2, hitting the 2 directly, so that's a foul. But notice the speed that he hit that shot with. Had he contacted the 2 first, he would have then hit it with the speed to push the 2 down the other end of the table, hard enough for it to reach the other end, but not too hard for it to come back toward the end it was hit from. Therefore, intelligent shot, but really not executed as well as he would have liked to.
Keith just ensuring to leave himself a nice angle on this 4. He wants to slide back over for the 5 to the same pocket.
Doesn't take much time in preparation. Notice how quickly he sets himself up and fires.
Well, you talked about a contrast in styles, and you're seeing it right away.
6 ball position near the side pocket. It's going to be the problem ball. If you can say there's a problem ball, it's going to be this ball right here.
These players have had ample opportunity to practice before this first rack. It's a race to 11 to stay on the winner's side.
We're expecting a hurricane in this area very shortly. Buddy Hall right now is looking at possibly an earthquake in Keith McCready.
Oh, he's overhit this, Billy. He's on the 50-yard line. Very missable. Oh, great effort this from McCready. In the wink of an eye, he opens accounts here in Chesapeake. 1-0 over Buddy Hall.
The game starts with a clean table. Get it clean with Chalk Off, the official pool table cleaner of the U.S. Open 9-Ball Championship. Just spray it on and wipe it off. That's all it takes. Clean your pool table in less than 60 seconds with Chalk Off and the new microfiber Brunge. It's a brush and a sponge all in one. For more information, call us toll-free. Visit chalkoff.com or call your local retailer and ask for it by name. That's Chalk Off, the complete pool table cleaner.
Buddy's looking at the table now, and he cannot see the 1. I'll point out to you exactly what his problem is.
Well, and you know, just something else that just jogged my memory is that 9-ball coming so close to going in there. And look at this, the 1-9 right away. Buddy Hall, 1-1. Keith McCready, that's just how quick 9-ball can be. But I was just about to say, Billy, that if that 9 is made off the break, that's a $500 bonus to the player that makes it.
You know, I wasn't aware of that, Jim. In other words, if you make the 9 on the break, the player who makes the 9 on the break gets a $500 bonus?
Cash on the spot. It's a sponsorship bonus, and no wonder McCready was trying to will that 9 in. But in the end, it's Buddy Hall who laughs last.
Maybe we can, in a little while, we can go back to that 9-ball that Buddy just pocketed a little while later.
What a shot that Buddy pulled out there, though. Just enough room to get that cue ball through to the 1, and certainly that's something that we can possibly get another look at because early days, it could be a turning point in this match.
The last time Buddy broke the balls, he broke them with the speed of 19 miles per hour. Maybe, just maybe, he'll change his speed this time because he didn't come up. He came up dry on the break the last time. He may want to put a little more speed to it, or even hit him even softer. What was that exactly?
He got a ball down off the break there, but again, he isn't sitting as well as he would have liked on that 1. But he's got a wall of colors to try and hide that cue ball behind if he decides to defend.
He's going to bank the 1 and at the same time play position for the 2 in the pocket underneath him. He's banking the 1 softly, very nicely struck. Look at the cue ball in perfect position for the 2. Slight angle on the 2. After pocketing the 2, Jim, he may be able to get the cue ball to go slightly cross table for position for the 3 in the upper left corner.
And equally important, Billy, had he missed the 1, he had Keith McCready buried, didn't he?
Great observation. He may have the angle to draw it straight back, Jim. Let's see what he does with it. 3 ball to his left. Oh, he took his eye off the ball and wasn't able to pocket the 2.
It's difficult to tell. He may have gotten away with that miss. I don't know whether Keith can get through to that 2 ball, and if body language is worth anything, that tells you he can't.
That's exactly right. As quickly as he plays, you would know that he'd be down on the ball had he had the advantage of pocketing the 2. But it doesn't look like he has a shot on the 2. He's going to have to probably play some sort of a safety.
And he's going to throw his back out if he continues with that move. A lot of body English.
Okay, the 8 ball is now hanging in the corner pocket. I do not believe the 2 can contact the 8 because of the position of the 5. That's the 4. I'm sorry, that's the 4. But he might be able to play a 2-4-8 combination. Well, he's opting to play a soft safety, which really didn't work out well for him.
See, now have a look at that cue ball, folks. We talked about it earlier. It's got dots all around it, and it's going to be able to very clearly show you the spin that these players are imparting on it, both attacking and defending. This is going to be like an instructional booklet right on your television sets.
No, this isn't really that easy of a situation for him to deal with, Jim. It really isn't that easy of a safety. So he's going to have to probably reposition the cue ball down the other end of the table and back of the other balls down there. He ran into the 3 in trying to do that. But it wasn't easy. He tried to do exactly what I described, but he really didn't do it as well as he should have. McCready now takes his chair, leaving Buddy a very long, difficult shot on the 2. He's going to play the 2-8 here, Jim.
And a lot of distance between that 2 and 8, Billy. That makes the shot a lot more difficult than it might appear. Mind you, it looks pretty tough even from this seat. Great effort from Buddy Hall there, but he's not finished perfectly on the 2.
No, he lost control of the 2 ball. Quite often when you play a combination, you lose control of the combinating ball, the ball you hit first. After pocketing the combination, you have to be sure that you're able to control that ball. And in that instant, he wasn't able to do that. But it wasn't easy because they had to hit it with some speed. Had he rolled it, the possibility of scratching was there, so therefore he had to hit it with some speed.
Now, I wonder if he's contemplating going to that side cushion.
Well, it looks like that he might play a 2 to 3 cushion safety with the cue ball behind the 9 and the 4. I don't know. Well, he's looking to kick the 2, but if he kicks the 2 in, what future does he have in playing position for the red ball, the 3 ball at the other end of the table?
He's going to have to play it with speed. But he is looking at that side cushion. He's trying to kick this in.
And he hit it with speed, exactly like he said he may. He hit it with speed, but he was unable to pocket the 2. McCready now steps to the table. Match tied up, 1 game apiece. Balls are spread over the table, but not exactly what I consider an easy out here, Jim.
No, this is far from, look at the cue ball heading towards the side pocket, too. I don't think Keith wanted to be straight on this 3. That 4 is over the opposite side of the table now.
And the 9's on the same side of the table, offering a problem which he was able to deal with. Now, pocketing this ball, does the 5 pass the 7?
The way he played that, it doesn't, and certainly doesn't now. Possibility of a billiard?
That's a possibility. He can bank the 5, he can play the billiard, or he can maybe play some sort of a safety. Knowing McCready's going for the billiard here. First call.
And you saw the hand go up in disgust. He doesn't take a lot of time to sight, gets down, and lets fly. Rack number 3 of a possible 21. It's a race to 11. Buddy Hall with a chance to see his first lead, but he's got to complete the 3-ball clearance here.
He's not shooting into a very large pocket, Jim. These pockets are cut smaller than the standard size pocket. You see what I mean? He didn't hit that ball that badly, but didn't even come close to pocketing the ball. McCready back at the table. He may even bank this because of the position of the 7 ball. So he can hit the 7 and either make the 7 or the 5. He didn't make either, but look, he made the 7 the other end of the table. That's pretty fortunate for McCready.
Well, that's what you do. You know, if you hit him hard, you drop to your knees and scream out, calling all pockets. It worked for McCready there. Lady Luck plays a card.
I don't totally agree with the way he played that particular shot. I thought he had more of an angle. You notice the shot he left himself with on the 9,
Yeah.
very difficult
A lot
shot.
of body movement too, Billy. He was up off the cue almost before the tip had struck the cue ball.
I thought he should have considered playing a different route on the 7 to the 9 than he did, accepting a long, difficult shot on the 9.
Oh, that was a great shot from Buddy Hall into a very acute angle into that side pocket, but Keith McCready knows he had the first look at it, but it's Hall slotting his bead up on his side of the score sheet. 2-1 to the Rifleman.
Where can you find videos of the best players in the world in their entirety and without commercials? Accustats.com. How about 8-ball, 9-ball, straight pool, 1 pocket, and 3 cushion billiards? Accustats.com. Only one place has it all. Check out our complete catalog on the net, 24 hours a day. Where do you ask? Accustats.com.
Well, you see a lot of animation with McCready's break. Just watch that cue, the way he throws it up.
Excellent break. Look at the cue ball repositioning itself in the center of the table. An ideal position on the table to end up with off the break. 19 miles per hour. That seems to be about the speed both players like to hit the break with, around 19 miles per hour. McCready at the table. Nice position on the 4, the 5 adjacent to the 4.
The 7 looks like it's going to cause a bit of a problem, Bill, right near that side pocket.
If we can get a close-up of that 7 in relation to that side pocket, maybe we can determine whether or not he's going to have a problem a little bit later on. Let's take a look at it.
It certainly looks as though it's going to be very dodgy to get that cue ball into an area to attack that 7 and keep the cue ball out of the side pocket.
You know, the way he's playing, it looks like to me the 7 will go into the side pocket because he had an option to bank the 6, excuse me, to the other side pocket and possibly kissing it off the 7.
Yeah, he's banking the 7. And that was a long ways away. Now, has he gotten away with it?
Considering the position of the 8 in relation to the 7, you know, was asking an awful lot of himself to bank the 7 and come up with a shot on the 8. You know, because they were both on the same side of the table, and after banking the 7, particularly with the angle he left himself with, he was going away from the 8. Buddy will play a good safety, locking up the cue ball solidly behind the 9 here. He wants to get a cushion. And if he's frozen into the 9, he's going to have a lot of problems here.
McCready comes out of his chair and weighs up this dilemma that he's got to try and extract himself from. The 2 cushion escape seems to be favorite, but again, after the contact, Bill, a lot going to be left to luck.
Well, he's going to hit this with speed, Jim. Oh, he's hitting it softly. I don't agree with this. I think he should have hit it with speed because hitting it softly gives Buddy too many options.
Buys himself time, if nothing else.
Now, one option Buddy has is to go cross table, trying to reposition the cue ball on the other side of the 8, spinning it with left-hand English. And if you notice the red circles on the cue ball, you'll be able to see the rotation of the cue ball by watching those red circles start spinning around. He'll be using a lot of left-hand English, spinning the cue ball. Watch behind on the other side of the 8. Look at the spin. But he didn't hit it hard enough, Jim. Had he hit it harder, notice the position of the cue ball, the way it was traveling, he would have won on the other side of the 8, solidly locking up McCready.
You know, he just couldn't sight it, and you can see him offering his hand up and looking for a little sympathy from the crowd.
Game number 5, it looks like it may go McCready's way, Jim.
Wow, great shot on the 7 there.
He doesn't take much time, does he?
9 deposited, and Keith McCready once again with his nose in front here. 3-2 over Buddy Hall.
Now, that was the second time Buddy came up short off of the safety play. The last time he was at the table, he was frozen to the 5 at the other end of the table, came up short on the way down table. The same thing happened again. He's not putting enough stroke into the ball. And I don't expect him to continue to play this style or this way. I expect him to pick up his speed because he's a great player and he's proven himself throughout his entire career. What a tremendous player Buddy Hall is.
McCready winding it up now. Rack number 6. In the race to 11, the one into the side pocket. Still trying to will that 9 into a pocket and scoop the 500 cash. He's got a shot on the 2 as well. And that's exactly what Keith McCready was looking to do.
Solidly locking up Buddy. I don't really see very many ways Buddy can hit the 2 with. As a matter of fact, he's going to be very hard pressed to hit the 2. There's a good shot of McCready.
Kind of talks to himself a little bit. We're going to get a chance. I want to show you a lady that is responsible for Keith McCready's resurgence. It'll be his girlfriend that'll be sat to his immediate right. We'll have a look at her. Now, as Buddy gotten away with, there's Jenny Malloy. I can tell you they've been together for about 2 years now. She met him at the Capital City event a couple years ago, and she wasn't looking for a boyfriend, she told me, but she hooked on to Keith McCready, and she is over the moon. Nice story, that one. She's actually a court reporter in the Washington, D.C. area.
Really?
That's where they're making their home right now, both Keith and Jenny. And she won't be happy to see that 3 stay out, but she also knows that Buddy Hall doesn't have a clear path to it.
Well, you know, that was like more or less a built-in safety had he missed the 3. Realizing that, he hit it with the proper speed, repositioning the cue ball behind the 4. Buddy now steps to the table, looking to kick again. The last time he was at the table, he also had a kick.
+50 years of playing experience on display here in the form of Buddy Hall.
Buddy was inducted into the Hall of Fame, I believe it was the year before this, last year. And, you know, it took some time for him to be nominated for the Hall of Fame, a lot longer than I thought it would. Because of what he's done, the accomplishments he's made in this game, and not being in the Hall of Fame was such an injustice.
Now, you'll know what he's looking at now. He's going to look to bend that cue ball. He's going to have to hit into that bottom cushion as we look with a lot of left-hand spin. And watch that cue ball bend back towards that right-hand cushion.
And he's going to hit it low, too, which will bend it. By hitting it low, it'll take off that cushion. It'll bend, like Jim said. It's exactly what he did, executing the shot perfectly, Jim.
Well, you can mark that one down. That's the shot of the match to this stage. Executed on demand by the Rifleman.
This shot has to be hit cleanly. Nicely struck. He has got such a beautiful stroke.
Long flowing action and silky smooth.
6 to the 7, Jim. The 7 position to the left of the 6. He's going to have to get good on the 6, get an angle on the 6 to drop nicely for the 7, because he only has 2 pockets to play the 7 in, the upper left and the lower left-hand corner. So it's imperative for him to get a nice angle on the 6. He needs to get over a little bit further. And it looks like he's a little awkward, slightly. He's got a slight angle, but maybe not the angle that he wanted to end up with.
Billy, I'm going to tell everyone at home that you were leaning there to try to get a better look. I do that in front of my television set quite often too. It doesn't change anything. Just stunning that in, and he's got a nice angle on the 7 now.
Well, he would probably rather ended up straight on the 7, considering the position of the 8 at the other end of the table. He may have to go cross table. And in going cross table, Jim, he has to hit the 7 with a harder speed. And when you do that, you make the pocket play smaller.
Yeah, as you've already noted, these pockets are very unsympathetic.
No, he hit that well, Jim.
Had to miss contacting the 9 and accomplished that. And now perfect on the 8. And this is looking a lot like 3-3.
We're playing on the diamond table with 860 Simonis cloth, Aramis balls, and using the Sardo rack. The equipment's the best we have to offer, and the players are also the best.
Nine deposited, and Buddy Hall confirms that scoreline. Now the first 6 racks have been shared here in Chesapeake.
And I'll tell you, that kick shot that Buddy made was spectacular. You called it before he made it. Let's take another look at it.
Yeah, it's one thing to see the shot, it's another to execute it. But that one went in as though Buddy had it in its sights from the start. And it laid the foundation for victory in that rack, Billy.
Are you looking for the ultimate one-stop shop for pool and billiard supplies? Then you need to visit billiardclub.net today for everything and anything you need for your home entertainment center. Our huge online store features pool cues, balls, racks, cue cases, pool table lights, training aids, and every accessory you could possibly imagine. We've got the best prices and the highest quality products you'll find anywhere. Log on today to billiardclub.net or call toll-free 866-774-8770. billiardclub.net.
He's been getting much more production on the break, breaking from this side. Uh-oh, scratching in the side. That's certainly a momentum stopper. McCready once again at the table with an excellent opportunity.
Ball in hand.
Notice the position of the 3, the problem ball on the table. The 3 ball is positioned on the right side of the table. The 6 is blocking the pocket for the 3. The 2 ball on the other side of the table. He would like to end up somewhere in the center of the table with the cue ball on the 2 to go cross table in between the 6 and the 3 with the cue ball.
Well, Keith's already had a good look at the table. He's got a nice angle on the 2, as you suggested, Bill. So this, the key shot in rack number 13.
And it certainly is, like you said, the key shot. Here it comes. Nicely struck. He's going to hit the 6. He's going to end up a perfect shot on the 3. Beautifully executed shot. Six to the 7, depending on how far that 7 is away from that side cushion, will determine whether or not it'll be pocketable on the side or not. So he wants to end up with an angle on the 6 here, Jim. He needs an angle on the 6. He can't afford to get straight.
You'll also notice the way Keith McCready holds his backhand. He's very much a sidearm player.
Yes,
you see this from a younger, shorter player that was learning to play the game. This is the way McCready learned to play, and he just stuck with it, didn't he?
Yes, he has. And now he's going to draw his ball on the other side of the side. Very nicely struck. Didn't take much time in running the balls in this particular rack.
That's an understatement. 9 deposited, 7-6. Buddy Hall over Keith McCready, heating up here at the Conference Center in Chesapeake.
It's been a very interesting matchup at this point, Jim. Very interesting.
Well, McCready does it in whippet fashion. And Buddy Hall is a lot more akin to the turtle in this race, isn't he? Just methodical and looking to get to the finish line first.
Could you imagine that?
McCready will offer a few words again to the people watching and to his colleague sat in the opposite chair there, Buddy Hall. But he needs a ball down off the break. Rack 14, the 1 in.
1 on the side. He's got a shot on the 2. Let's take a look at the 3. The 3 ball positioning itself behind the 7 at the other end of the table. Certainly a problem. He does have an angle on the 2. If he cuts the 2 in, the cue ball should go somewhere in the direction of the 3-7. Opening up the 3-7. Perfectly struck ball. Look at the result he got with that shot.
There was only a smattering of applause there from the crowd. I can tell you that that one could well be a showstopper.
5 to the 6 has to be right here because the 6 is on the same side of the table as the 5 is. It looks like he's got on the 50-yard line. He's got a little bit of a problem here. It doesn't appear that he does, but he does. Excellent, excellent shot. That was a beautifully executed shot by McCready.
Well, this is the best Keith McCready has looked in this match. And I wonder if he's not starting to get the bit between his teeth. He's getting his cue arm moving a lot more, and with alarming regularity as far as Buddy Hall is concerned.
Once again, not wasting much time in running the balls on the table. And all of a sudden, that 7-5 deficit he was facing now becomes 7-7.
Yeah, disappears.
And
9 down.
And Buddy Hall probably saying to himself, hey, it was only a couple seconds ago I was ahead 7-5. That's that psychological disadvantage Buddy Hall is confronting.
I think Keith was a little more concerned about getting that crease in his pants.
Executed shot by McCready.
Well, this is the best Keith McCready has looked in this match. And I wonder if he's not starting to get the bit between his teeth. He's getting his cue arm moving a lot more, and with alarming regularity as far as Buddy Hall is concerned. Rack 15 invites McCready back to break off.
Pocketing again, the 1 on the side. He has to come up with a shot on the 2, Jim. He'll be at a disadvantage pushing here.
Oh, is that a disadvantage, Bill? Because the push shot is really a gambling effort, isn't it? It's a shot where you feel, well, I don't want to leave him anything to attack from, but having said that, if he gives it back to me, I've got to have a reply too.
Well, in answer to your question, is it a disadvantage? Anytime you give your opponent an option, it's a disadvantage because he has the right to take it or to give it back to you. So anytime you give away an option, you're at a disadvantage. And I'm certainly sure he's going to give this back to McCready. I'd be very surprised to see him take this shot.
To me, it's an outside chance of him thin cutting the 2, just top side of the 6 as we look, and lay it around the 5 ball and run off the 2 cushions with the cue ball. Just depends what Buddy likes, and as you suggested, Billy, he's going to turn it right back over, and we'll see if McCready plays that shot.
And what you said is correct, but you know, you could look at a golf player and say he can get a hole-in-one here. And look at this, he executed the shot exactly the way you described it. He got a hole-in-one.
I don't know if Buddy Hall's going to like the shot that is going to be inviting him back to the table.
Well, I tell you, McCready knew what he needed to do when he pushed that area. Buddy knew what he had to do by accepting the shot. It was quite difficult to execute the shot the way McCready showed us that he could. Buddy had opted to give it back to McCready, and I'll find himself in a very, very difficult situation. Great players make great shots. Excellent hit. Excellent hit. And got rewarded for it. Notice position of the cue ball and the 2 ball. He does have a shot on the 2, but it's not an easy shot, and it really doesn't carry natural position. He may even play a safety here.
Not this gentleman. He flies by the seat of his pants.
This is a very difficult shot as well. If he opts to shoot the 3, he's going to have to hit it with an elevated stroke. Going to the side cushion with the cue ball, playing for the 4. Well, he wasn't able to put the 3 down, but it wasn't an easy shot by any means. This time he's left Buddy something quite simple. And if you go back in this match and take a look at the times McCready missed, he didn't really leave Buddy that easy that often.
Well, that was a tough shot that faced him on the 3. And it's not nearly that for Buddy Hall. He's just concerned with leaving himself an angle on the 4 to get that cue ball the opposite side of the table for the orange 5 next.
Yeah, and it's a big, big problem he's confronted with here too, Jim, by the way. That's an excellent point you brought out. From the 4 to the 5 is this rack, right, by the way. If he can get from the 4 to the 5, he'll win this rack.
Again, you can see that dotted cue ball that affords us the opportunity of seeing what spin these top players apply to that cue ball.
Now he's going to go 2 cushions up table. Now watch that upper left-hand corner pocket. It's a big pocket. The cue ball will be coming close to that corner pocket. Now watch the angle the cue ball takes. 1, 2. He wants to hit it hard enough, get down there for a shot on the 5, but yet not too hard where he would scratch. That was the problem with that shot. That's why it came up short. But now he's got to come with a fairly difficult shot on the 5 here. But it's a heck of a lot better than hitting it too hard, ending up in the pocket with the cue ball.
Thin cut on this 5.
And by cutting it thin, he may run into the 6 or the 9. So therefore, he's got some problems he confronted with him. He missed the 6, he missed the 9. So this should work out. It should work out. I don't know. From my vantage point.
This should work out for Keith McCready.
Yeah, it looks like it has.
Well, that's unlucky, though, Bill, really, isn't it? Murphy's Law coming into effect here. That cue ball could have landed anywhere but there and given Buddy Hall a chance at the 6. But now it's going to be nothing more than running for the weeds. There's no way he can attack from this position.
I kind of like him to elevate, setting the cue ball to the bottom cushion where the 9 is and back behind the 7. Setting the 6 ball over this way and over here.
He's not elevating.
Well, maybe
if he can cut this in. It looked like he was touching. He may be. I think he went for that.
He did go for that. And he almost made it. I thought he was closer to the 6
Oh,
than he
so
actually
did I,
was.
Bill, but what a risky shot that was for Buddy Hall. I guess he wanted to seize the moment. He knows that McCready's been firing back at him, and he wanted to try and put pay to it immediately and just not give McCready another look at the table. And it's not worked out for Buddy Hall.
Well, this isn't an easy shot here, Jim. Positioning the cue ball so closely to that side cushion. No. That's not going to work.
McCready very quickly off the cue again. And he wants to go and slam that chair into about 6 different pieces right now.
See, Buddy has a couple of options here. He can go forward 2 cushions, or he can draw it back a foot or so. Oh, what did he do here? Oh.
Well, this is not in convincing fashion, I think it's fair to say. But it never says how, just who. And Buddy Hall is going to be looking at this 9 to once again keep himself just in front of Keith McCready. And there you have it, 8-7. Buddy just 3 racks away from the finish line.
Nice rack. Hey, we're talking about the Club Rack, the official rack of the U.S. Open 9-Ball Championship. The Club Rack is precision made to pro specification from the finest hardwood for extreme durability by Diamond, the maker of the Diamond Pro Table. The Club Rack is available in 3 beautiful colors, oak, cherry, and natural. Visit theclubrack.com or call us toll-free. Get the Club Rack. It's full like it ought to be.
It's 10-8, and he's looking to narrow the gap to 10-9.
Yes, the last chapter yet to be written in this. And Keith McCready deposits the 9. 10-9 now confirmed. 2 to play, and he needs them both.
Well, you can't give Hall an opportunity at this stage of the match, because Hall will definitely take advantage of it. As you well know, he's a great closer. And the only reason it's 10-9 now is because McCready solidly locked him up. The last rack, Hall opted to kick with the bridge, and really made a great attempt to do so. Unfortunately, McCready ended up with ball in hand, as for Hall, that is, and ran out. Now it's 10-9. Very exciting match.
So Keith all set, winding it up. Rack number 20 of a possible 21.
Shit.
Hall mentioned something, McCready started counting the beads. In reference to what, I don't know, but I think everything was as it should be. Pocketing the 1. The 3 ball is going to come to rest, blocking a portion of the pocket, but actually maybe even enlarging the pocket. This rack looks like it's laying rather routinely. He hit the wrong side of the 3, and he went the wrong way with the cue ball. That is careless play. That's what I'm talking about. Buddy Hall knows how to win. Not Keith McCready doesn't, but that was pure carelessness there. Controlling the cue ball in that instance was absolutely essential. Very, very nicely struck ball. Kicking it all the way up table, leaving Buddy Hall a very long, difficult, straight-in shot on the 3. Something I wouldn't want to be at the table shooting.
Well, this will be a real examination in cuemanship. A long, straight 3 ball.
And talk to me about cuemanship. You have to have good technique. You have to really hit the cue ball perfectly in order to get it to go that straight line down the table, contacting the 3 accurately enough to pocket it.
I mean, these shots look difficult on the practice table, Bill. How do they feel when you're on center stage of a major event and the TV camera is breathing down your back?
Needing only 1 game to win the match. Very difficult shot. Looks like he's almost going to have to roll it. If he hits with speed, he also runs the risk of scratching. Look how softly he's rolling it. Oh, my cuemanship. Tell me about that shot, Jim. That shot was maybe the shot of the match.
Buddy Hall just got his university degree.
Talking about
in
a
that
closer.
Particular discipline. And he had to slow roll it to leave the long pink 4 available. And now if he knocks this in and stops that cue ball dead, could be the beginning of the end as far as the winner's side for Keith McCready.
I tell you what, he's gone out in style. He's able to run the balls here. You can say the championship that he has come out right here. The championship caliber player that he is.
Great long shot again. Wiped its feet before departing the table.
He doesn't like it. He looks like he's straight in. If he's straight in, he has a problem. He may even have to draw it straight back to where it is now if he's straight in. You know, he doesn't want to do it, but if it's straight, he's going to be forced to do it. And he'll shoot the right shot. Yep, he's going to have to come straight back, Jim. Now he's ended up with a bank on the 6. He didn't want to hit the 8. He wanted to avoid contact in the 8. But fortunately, it looks like he does have a bank cross side.
And in this position, Billy, you'd still favor the shooter, especially when he can bank a ball like Buddy Hall?
Absolutely. Buddy Hall, superb all-around player. It came up short. No, that was really unexpected. He's a great, great bank pool player. And I thought for sure he would put that in. But as this match has gone, so many unexpected things has happened.
Well, actually, Keith McCready had a little wave for us up here. I think he senses that his time has arrived. And a chance for a hill match.
And it looks like that's exactly what we're going to see here, Jim. 10-10 to see who goes on in this tournament.
And there you go. The simplest of 9s for a 10-10 scoreline. And McCready will be breaking for the victory.
Cigarette time.
He's going to take a break.
10-10. Grab a hand, please, for Keith McCready, Buddy Hall.
10-10, McCready is going to take that very short break.
The game starts with a clean table. Get it clean with Chalk Off, the official pool table cleaner of the U.S. Open 9-Ball Championship. Just spray it on and wipe it off. That's all it takes. Clean your pool table in less than 60 seconds with Chalk Off and the new microfiber Brunge. It's a brush and a sponge all in one. For more information, call us toll free Visit chalkoff.com or call your local retailer and ask for it by name. That's Chalk Off, the complete pool table cleaner.
We're back with the deciding rack here, and what a way to kick off our coverage of the 2003 U.S. Open 9-Ball Championships. We got treated to quite a match here, Bill. In fairness, I think not one that they're going to file in their memory banks, but nevertheless, it's been a lot of fun to watch.
It certainly has. It's been a lot of fun to watch this match. That's exactly right. And one of these players are going to have to be confronted with a long journey on the loser side if they expect to win the tournament. The other one will then advance on the winner side. McCready pocketing a ball on the break. Let's take a look at where the balls are on the table. The 1 ball, no problem. The 1 to the 3 and the 3 to the 4 should be the answer to this particular rack, because the 5, 6, 7, and 8 are positioned quite nicely. This is the key shot right here for McCready. And Hall's hoping that if he makes the mistake, it's right now, because not too much of a possibility of him making a mistake hereafter.
Well, that one in the tradesman's entrance.
If you take a look at Hall's face right now, it'll tell the story. He doesn't figure to get back to the table.
Well, this is about composing yourself, all those hours of practice. And Buddy Hall, I think, sees the writing on the wall.
He doesn't figure to get back to the table, and he knows it. He got straight in on the 5. He ran into the 7. Excuse me, he ran into the 8, and he couldn't bank it, bank the 7 across the side. But he played well. McCready's got an awkward angle on the 6 here, Jim. You know, I mean, there's still some excitement left in this match. He has the wrong angle on the 6. That's careless play. He has the wrong angle on the 6. He's going to have to go forward with a high ball. He may even miscue again.
And you saw a close look at Buddy Hall, the man suffering in his chair and having to watch this. The finish line was in his sights only scant minutes ago.
Talking about players winning close matches, if you go back in history and look at McCready's results in his matches played, he's won a lot of 11-10 matches. And he's won another one, and it looks like it.
Yes!
He's finished in style. The Earthquake, Keith McCready, an 11-10 winner over Buddy Hall. And Keith McCready stays on the winner's side, and it's down to the Rifleman to fight his way back on the losers. Well, hi, everyone, again. And we caught up with Buddy Hall just after the match. And, Buddy, I want to thank you for taking the time to hook up with us here. But I think it's fair to say you're not really happy with your performance out there.
Well, we could always play better, you know.
A lot of chances and missed opportunities. But let me ask you about the experiment with the cue ball, Buddy. With the dots on it, a lot of players would not have chosen to play with that ball.
It's they asked us if we would mind playing with it.
It was an experiment that we wanted to try and show the folks at home the spin that you guys were playing on that cue ball, but it can be very off-putting when you see all those red dots on that cue ball.
Well, it's a good idea. This is a good idea to let people see this.
Well, Buddy, I know that when you talk, people listen. And I can tell you something. I know we're going to be seeing a lot of you back on the B side. Hopefully you'll grace our center screen again here. But, folks, there you have it. Buddy Hall. The ball was not quite there for Hall. Well, now Keith McCready, a very happy winner. And, Keith, it wasn't a convincing performance, but a win is a win.
I was just fortunate to be on the side of an 11-10 win instead of usually a 11-10 defeat. I mean, I wouldn't have minded so bad if I would have played bad or played good and lost. But playing bad and winning sort of gives me a little confidence.
It's all about survival, isn't it? I mean, it's if your bad play can still get you through, Keith, then you can live to survive again.
Right. Well, it's actually, I feel a little bit better than what I just did about 15 minutes ago when it looked like it was all over with. But you know, Buddy's a great player. Can't take nothing away from Buddy, and you know we're both struggling on our game a little bit. I'm still trying to find my stroke because I keep going from one shaft to another shaft, then I go from a different cue ball to another cue ball, and I really haven't been playing as much as I should. But I mean, I still feel I can still compete. You know, if I get a couple plays under my belt, and I still think I can be there. But I feel bad for Buddy. And actually, I got lucky on the end of when he broke the balls. He broke the balls about 3 times there in a row, and he didn't make a ball in the break, which helped me in the game. And luckily, I made a couple balls on the break on the end and put myself back in it. And
well, it was a nice break and finish. I know you've got an army of fans here, Keith, and you're growing them by the day.
If I get to the last day, I'll have a lot more.
Well, listen, all the best. We're going to be watching you on the winner's side, and go get them. There you go. The Earthquake is still going to be rumbling here in Chesapeake. And that's all from Center Stage.